Hey there, good morning. I am John. Today is Monday, January 14, 2023. Welcome back to my daily vlog where I am reporting the experiment of trying to make content creation full-time and sustainable ever since I was laid off some months ago, and come in here every day to talk about it. And boy, this is a week. I feel the weight of this week coming. There's a lot of both work to do and potential to capture, and we'll get to that. Let's start by looking at Friday and over the weekend, because it was a really good weekend stats-wise. Let's see what happened Friday. So you remember a couple of things happened Friday. First of all, we had already released the next Atari tier video. It was the adults-only cartridges, those mature cartridges, which I had anticipated would do okay. And we released that back on Wednesday, I believe. Tuesday or Wednesday, I forget which one. And it was already doing well, and I said maybe it could carry into the weekend. And then Friday, my last order of business Friday was releasing the last Atari cartridge video. So now you can see they're all there. It says Atari 50, so they're all there. The last video was published. So let's start with the most recent thing first. That Atari cartridge video was number 10. It was the last one in the series, and it did on par. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm showing you the graphic here, but I'm sure it did 2,000 or 3,000 at least. Plus, there were a lot of comments on that video, more above and beyond the normal volume of comments, including people requesting what I kind of half suggested I might do in the video, which was to do like a post-mortem on all 10 of the cartridges together, the things they did right, the things they did wrong, best of show, stuff like that. So I think that's a new video idea that I can knock out, but I have to do pretty quickly while the iron's still hot, before people kind of forget that I did the first 10, right? So that's kind of in this week's plan, so we'll talk about that in a second. And then on Friday, then still on Friday and through the weekend, that Atari video tier, rating tier was still doing well. So well, in fact, that it's now up over 41,000 views. Really great for my channel. And look, we have videos that have done that well or better before, but not in this amount of time, and not very few in this amount of time at least. I mean, the last couple we've talked about, it's been here, it's during this time. That's not normal for me at all. And that video continues to crank well. I mean, so here's what happened over the weekend. It got all those views that we talked about. It gets tons of engagement, tons of comments. Plus, it drove a subscriber rush over the weekend. You'll remember when we spoke on Friday, we were at 84,400 and change. Well, not only did this get us up over 100 subscribers a day, but more. So happy to tell you that this morning, just effectively, was it Friday? 3 days later, linearly, we're at 34,800 subscribers. We gained 4 since Friday. 4, so we're very closely, we're ramping up on 35,000. I even said it's potentially we could hit there by the end of this week. I think it's unavoidable now, because we're now like 160 away from it or so. So 35,000 subscribers. That next major milestone is going to happen this week. That's the beginning of the pile of things that are making this week feel huge. We talked pretty well on Friday and the weekend. Let's talk about today, but I really want to talk about this week, not just today. Yes, today I'm going to prep for the podcast. I'm going to, so much. Let me talk about what's happening this week. I have 3 separate podcast recordings. I have one on Wednesday, I have one on Thursday, I have one on Friday. So that chews up the evening part of a day. So I have those 3 things lined up. Plus, because I have a guest spot, actually. Technically Creative with Vincent Ferrari. He asked me to back on his show. So I'm going to be on his show, record that. I think I said the name of his show wrong. Anyway, it's Vincent Ferrari's show. That's on Wednesday, I think. And then on Thursday we have 1980s Now, which shifted, and then we have GenXGrownUp recording on Friday. Okay, so standard stuff. Plus, I want to try to get to that the wrap up for these Atari cartridges. I want to get to that this week sometime. But the biggest and most important thing, which is on top of all this, there's this momentum coming off of last week. There's a very busy kind of recording schedule. Plus, this week, early this week in fact, in the next couple of days, I need to go ahead and produce that first sneak peek for an unreleased product, because the target is to release it on Friday. And ahead of that, I want to have a meeting with the folks I've been consulting for technically, that I'm going to show it to them leading up to that, because it was a proof of concept they couldn't quite visualize. So We have a meeting with them, so I need to show it to them before it airs. Not for editorial content, but just so they go, oh, I get it, that kind of thing. So I need to get that ready. And this is the first prong of, I feel anxiety, because it has a huge potential, I think. If I publish that video and it just doesn't do anything, then the anticipation that I have coming up for the fall is going to have a big wet blanket thrown over it, because I think there is a demand for more information on these products that aren't out yet. I think and believe that there will be a demand to watch a video, even though it's a part of a product, not all the product, but it should whet the appetite and load the algorithm for what is to come. There's so much riding on this video that I'm afraid to start it. Like, I don't know where to begin. But begin I will, and that's what I'm going to do today, because I have just barely within my reach this potential, this huge opportunity to maybe have incredible growth. It's not guaranteed. I could screw it up. The week just feels like it's heavy, and there's a lot to do. There's not that much more to do. It's just that it's all kind of culminating in this one week all of a sudden, and I've just got to hang on tight, like it's this buck and bronco, and not get thrown off. And thrown off would be me descending into a pit of self-doubt and procrastination to the point that I don't get things done, which is not that tough for me to do. It's almost easier to create things when there's no pressure or nothing on the line, or I think it's going to flop. I go, oh, we'll knock something out today and maybe somebody will like it. But like, I need people to watch this. I need it to be successful. I've spent working the last 2 weeks working on what I think is going to be a simple, poppy, catchy, eye-grabbing thumbnail. That's the kind of thing I start thinking about way before a video is published now. It used to be an afterthought, like, oh yeah, before I upload, I need a thumbnail. Now I'm thinking about it well ahead of time as I've learned. I've been thinking about the item is just sitting on the shelf back here behind me. You can't see it; it's behind me. But I walk and look at it every day, and I think about how I'll talk about it and that kind of thing. And it's just my brain feels hot in my head. It's just, have you felt that way before? I don't know. It's all good stuff. It's not like there's pressure on me, things that I don't want to do. It's almost there's a pressure on me that I have all this stuff to do, and I'm worried I'm going to screw it up, or I'm worried I'm going to, fall into this pit of demotivation or something. I don't know. So, who would have thought last week when I said, cool stuff coming next week, that I would hit the beginning of this week and feel like, whoa, oh, am I ready to do this? And it's silly in the grand scheme of things, but I think it's so potentially important to whether or not this entire experiment succeeds. I have worked over the last several months to cultivate a relationship of trust where it got me the opportunity to do this thing. And now we're gonna, we've been building this boat. It's time to finally put the damn thing in the water. Is it gonna float? That's where I feel right now. So, anxiety, some anxiety, a little overwhelmed, but that happens. I'm sure every entrepreneur experiences that, and that's what I'm feeling right now. So, man, this every once in a while, one of these is like, yeah, yesterday, today, tomorrow, bye kind of thing. And I'm sure that's of minor interest, but I have to do it every day. And sometimes it turns into therapy for me, almost, So it's saying it out loud, saying it to you. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Well, this will be interesting to look back at in a month and see what happened, because I have no idea. So I guess I better get going, because the longer I stand here, the longer I'm not working on those things. So let me go do that. Whew. Thank you for being here for today's vlog. If you're here every day, I love you for that. You know that I still feel flustered, like I'm off. If you're here every day, I love you for that. Thank you for being part of this journey with me and being along for the ride. It means so much. Have a fantastic Monday, if at all possible. Do something good for yourself, and I will talk to you again next day. Bye-bye.